morning, everyone. Today we're going to be doing brain fitness with Cynthia. You don't really need any special equipment, but if you want to get a piece of paper, a pencil, a water bottle, a cup of coffee, you'll be set for what we're going to do. Today I'm going to give you an introduction of our brain fitness class and the types of things that we try to do each week. Now, one of the most important things about coming to a class is that you're with other students, and that coming together is a really important part of our brain health. Having that community, having friends, supporting each other, and this is what it's all about right now. So, I'm glad you tuned in, let your friends know, and here we go. So one of the most important things about our brain, our noggin, a noodle, or our computer, whatever you want to call it, is that it has lots of different components. And while we're committed to doing fitness for our whole body, our brain also needs stimulation and a way to exercise. Lots of different things going on in our mind, and we want to make sure that we're calm, connected, thinking, and having fun, and we're not struggling with those daily tasks. I'm going to give you some pointers, some exercises, and some things to think about when you're trying to improve your brain health. Alrighty? So, one of the most important things is that we keep our neuroplasticity intact. So that means that our mind is expanding and growing and connecting and not sitting still. Alright? So we have to exercise it just like we have to exercise our body. And speaking of exercise, exercise with the body is super important for our brain. So we need to get out there and walk. We need to do some exercises in our chair, just simple things like this. Watching TV and pumping a few weights or water bottles on a commercial. All of those things are exercise. And you don't have to join a class. You don't have to do it for an hour. You can do it in little snippets all through the day, and you're getting exercise. What does the exercise do for our brain? It increases that blood flow, and blood flow is essential for our brain's function. Alrighty, so daily exercise, very important. Number 2, we have to make sure we have healthy eating habits. Alrighty, I know we're all diving into those boxes of cookies right now and maybe some crunchy chips, but our brain needs healthy food. It needs things that are gonna keep our brain buzzing, keep it healthy, keeping us thinking clearly. And so some of those essential eating habits, really important. Number 1, drinking our water. When we don't have enough water in our body, it affects our brain. We may feel foggy, we may feel sort of disoriented. It might be that we just need a nice big glass of water, alrighty? So keep hydrated, keep the water consumption high, and don't drink it all at once. Sip it throughout the day. Set a goal for yourself, how much water you're going to drink in a day. Maybe put a whole pitcher of water or several water bottles there and say, okay, that's my goal for today. I'm going to make sure I drink that water. If you're not sure how much water you drink, that's a really good way to think to see if that's what you're doing. So put a pitcher of water, a few water bottles, and see at the end of the day, have I met my goal? So hydration, super important. If you're taking any kinds of medications, medications may also make you feel a little bit dizzy or disoriented. So make sure you check with your doctor, know what to expect with your medications, and drink lots of water with your medicine. Yay! All right. Now, I mentioned the cup of coffee. Lots of brain research has concluded, much to my joy, that coffee is really good for your brain. It's a stimulant, it wakes up things, it keeps those neurons firing in your brain, so don't forget to have that morning cup of coffee. Even in the afternoon, perk yourself up with maybe a half and half caffeinated, half decaf, just to keep you on top of your game. And you won't fall asleep too early. You'll feel engaged and alert. And if you prefer tea, tea is also wonderful for your brain. Just a little bit of caffeine. Now, if you're working out, caffeine can also help your muscles recover. So you get a 2-for-1 if you're drinking your coffee. Me, I never go anywhere without it, okay? So cheers, have a cup of coffee. It's good for you. By the way, don't put all that cream and sugar in there. That's not that great for the brain. It likes the straight Joe, all right? So cheers, have your cup of coffee. Other things that are super yummy for our brain are things like blueberries. Other fruits and vegetables, think really bright colors. Those antioxidants are super duper for the brain, and it loves all those nutrients, all right? So make sure you're eating healthy, that what you're putting in your body is helping your muscles, in your body, in your brain, and that you're firing on all cylinders in terms of nutrition, alrighty? I will go into depth more on nutrition for the brain, but today I'm just giving you sort of an overview. By the way, each week we do something completely different in our brain fitness class. So if you're tuning in, maybe next week would be a topic that's interesting for you, but it'll never be the same. We always try to mix it up. And why we do that is also a reason for the brain. The brain likes variety. So if we do exactly the same thing day after day, our brain is not getting that stimulation. Do you hear me? Stimulation is important, all right? All right, you got it, stimulation. Now, I've repeated myself several times. And why? Because the brain likes repetition. It likes to hear things over and over and over again. It makes an imprint on our brain, makes it easier for us to remember things. So, stimulation, repetition, stimulation, repetition. All right, you got it. So if you're writing any of these things down, those would be great things to write down. All right. The other thing our brain likes is relaxation. You heard me, relaxation. Relaxation is great for the brain because when our brain is stressed, when it's running 100 miles an hour, it can't make those connections that are vital for memory, for flow. If you're having a conversation and your brain is low, then you're not going to have those clear connections. Our speech might change. Think about, maybe you've had a little fender bender, someone's bumped into you and you're like, oh, your brain is racing. You have to calm it down. You're trying to find your keys in the morning, you're late for my class, and you're like, calm down. Take that moment to just take a breath. So this is going to be our first exercise. We're going to do some relaxation breaths. And I use a method called 4, 7, and 8. Now, this is a very popular way to do breathing exercises. Again, this is a relaxation exercise as opposed to a stimulating exercise. So we want to just get that moment of calm when we're looking for our car in the parking lot. And don't think you're not alone. A lot of us lose our keys. We can't find our cars in these giant parking lots. It's okay, but don't stress. So take that breath now. We're going to breathe in through our nose and we're going to blow it out. And think about blowing out those birthday candles. All right? Here we go again. So breathe in through the nose and we're going to blow it out. Wow, I feel calmer already. All right. So back to our 4, 7, 8. All right. So 4, 7, 8 breathing techniques. Let's go ahead, we're going to breathe in through our nose and we're blowing out through our mouth. We're going to breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts, and then we're going to expel all of that air for 8 counts. So do it with me. Make sure that you're sitting comfortably in a chair. Try to sit nice and tall. If you need a pillow or a ball or something to help your spine stay tall, go ahead and grab that. That's a really good way to get your body comfortable. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor, nothing is crossed. Relax your shoulders, and we're going to go through this breathing technique 5 times. Are you with me? All right, here we go. Let's breathe in for 4 through the nose. We're going to hold for 7 counts. Let's blow it out now for 8 counts. And again, breathe it in. Hold now for 7 counts. And now let's blow it out. Relax those shoulders now. Keep them low to the body. Here we go, breathing in. And let's blow it out. Oopsie, I made a mistake. Let's hold it. And now let's blow it out for 8 counts. 1 more to go. Breathe it in. Hold for 7. And let's blow it out. I don't know about you, but I'm really relaxed now. All right, well, you won't have me there talking in your ear, but use that technique. Just taking those few moments to relax your body, get your shoulders down, de-stress for just that moment. It's gonna get your brain back on track. You're gonna find those keys, you're gonna see where your car is in the parking lot. Everything's gonna be great, all right? So use that technique throughout your day. When you might get a little tense or anxious, or something's not quite going right, or you can't quite remember something, relax a bit. Maybe it will come back to you. Give your body and your brain that moment to reconnect. And a lot of our memories also take a stimulation. So one thing that we love to work on in our class is remembering people's names. Remembering people's names is the #1 question I get. Besides, how do I find my keys? I keep losing. So people want to remember each other's names. They want to connect with people, and that's how we connect, knowing someone's name. Don't you feel great when you meet somebody for the first time? They have this fantastic name, and you remember it the next time you see it. And you know what? That makes them feel really great too, that you remembered their name. All right, so I'm going to give you some techniques to remember people's names. Now remember what I said before. Our brain likes repetition, and it also likes another tactic that I use often, and that is association. So associating a name with something will also help you remember their name. And this can be used in all different kinds of things, not only with your name, but let's start there, all righty? So someone comes up and they introduce themselves and they say, "Hi, my name is June," all righty? And I'm like, "Ooh, June, I want to remember that name," okay? So I say, "Nice to meet you, June." And we talk, we chat a little bit, and then I keep repeating her name out loud. Now that's an important thing. Repeat out loud. So we're talking and I say, "That is so interesting, June. June, tell me more about that. June, where do you live?" She might think I'm a little nuts that I keep repeating her name, but in my mind, I'm imprinting that name on my brain. So repetition. Now, I also said association. Association is also important, alrighty? Say there's something really special about June. So I think, wow, June has the most amazing smile. We're talking, I'm feeling so good. I'm full of joy. All these different things I'm finding out, it's just so exciting. So I'm thinking, ooh, June, June. Joyful June. Aha, that's what I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna remember my new friend June, that she's so joyful, full of life, and I'm gonna keep thinking about that joyful June. Besides, it sort of goes together, the J and the J. I call her JJ, but joyful June, hey, I've got my new way to remember my new friend. So the next time I see my friend June, I'm like, "Ah, June, hello!" And she's so excited that I remembered her name. Hopefully she remembered mine too. Anyway, try that technique the next time you're trying to remember somebody's name or any other kind of fact. And you'll get those associations, you'll do those repetitions, you'll speak it out loud, because our brain remembers things differently if it's heard or if you speak it and hear it as opposed to just think it. So there's different neural pathways associated with that. So remember, speak it out. Your body, your ear will hear it, and it'll imprint on your brain even better. All right, great job, you guys. Now, let's talk about those creative ways to associate things. We're going to play another game, alrighty? So if you have your pencil ready and you want to write down these few things, go ahead. I'm going to give you just a list. And I'm going to give you some words, and I want you to write them down or just to think about them. And then I'm going to talk to you about how we're going to use these words. Now, I'm going to give you the word horse, clown, doctor, camel, pink, and saxophone. All right? Let me repeat those words one more time. We have horse, clown, doctor, camel, pink, and saxophone. All right. So I'm going to ask you to think about those words and memorize it. What? You didn't say there's going to be a test? Well, it's not exactly a test, but we're going to use our techniques of association to improve our memory. Now, straight out memorizing is okay, but holding on to those memories is what we really want to do. We just don't want to be able to list off those 6 words. We want to remember it for another day. That's what it is. We want to imprint that memory on our brain. Alrighty? So I talked about association. So we want to associate these words, just like we did in the remembering someone's name game, with something fantastical. All right? So our brain loves very strange things. The mundane, it works that way. It's okay. But when we associate something that's very fantastical, our brain says, wow, that's amazing. Alrighty? So now I want you, don't look at your paper. I want you to just think in your mind, can I remember those 6 words? Okay, good job. Maybe you remembered them all. Maybe you only got 3 out of 6. Maybe you got 5 out of 6. Good job. You must have had your water and your coffee this morning. All right. But here's another technique that we're going to use. We're going to think about each word, and we're going to make some kind of association that's really fantastical, bizarre, strange, or something that you normally wouldn't associate with that thing. Alrighty? So let's look at our first word, horse. What do we think? We think about a horse being in a lovely green pasture. He's a lovely brown color, just kind of our normal horse thing. All right? But what if we take that horse and we painted all different colors of the rainbow? Wow, we're going to remember that horse even better. Let's take our next one, a clown. Oh, we love clowns. They got bright hair, colored clothes. But what if we do something crazy with that clown? What if we make his clown costume all covered with hearts or something unusual? All right, let's go for our next one, a doctor. You know what? Let's put that doctor and the clown together. Think about your going to a doctor's visit and the doctor comes in, but he's in a clown suit and he's wearing a stethoscope. Oh my goodness, we're going to remember that word. We have our camel. Let's put the doctor in his clown suit riding on the camel. Our next word, pink. Let's make that camel pink. And guess what? The doctor wearing the clown suit is going to be playing his saxophone. Alrighty? Now we didn't put the horse into our mix, but we painted that horse multicolors. So now you're going to try to remember all 6 words using that word association. All right, how did you do? Could you remember the sentence that we made with the multicolored horse, the doctor in a clown outfit, riding a pink camel, playing the saxophone? Great job. That's what association is all about, making association to empower our brain to remember things that are unusual. Our brain thrives on the unusual. So give it a try next time when you're trying to memorize a set of facts, or just set up a game for yourself, or call a friend on the phone and say, okay, I'm gonna ask you these, I'm gonna give you some words and I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes. Can you repeat the names of the words that I gave you? And play a little game. It's a lot of fun. And you can make up any story about it. Generating stories using things that you're trying to remember are powerful tools. So go ahead and try them. All right, we're going to go on to our last segment of this class, Brain Fitness with Cynthia. And we're going to do some gymnastics with our hands to connect our brain. All right? This type of exercise is really powerful to stimulate our brain and to make those connections using the power of touch. Alrighty? So I'm going to take you through a couple exercises, and we're going to go through those. And the idea is that you have a lot of very powerful receptors in the fingertips that travel all the way to our brain superhighway. And by using these techniques, we're going to stimulate our brain, all right? Use them daily. I love doing these things, especially when I'm driving around and I have a few minutes at a stoplight. I'll do 10 of these, and I do them throughout the day. And I think they're a lot of fun, and they're a great conversation point. You can tell people I'm doing my brain exercises, and they're going to go, whoa, what's that? So share them with other people. All right, our first one is going to be the sliding prayer. All right, so what we have to do is use our first technique that we used today. A nice breath, blow it out, relax. All right? What we're going to do is we're going to take our hands in a prayerful hold, and what you're going to see is all of the fingers touching. So remember, touching is the key for all of these exercises. We have to make sure the ends of our finger are connected, and this is how we're going to do it. So we want to get into a prayer position, and we want to have the sight of our eyes right at the top of our fingers. I'm going to make mine a little bit lower so I'm not covering my face the whole time. All right, so we're pressing against the palm and against the fingertips. We're relaxed. We take that breath. Good, let's take another breath and relax. Now we're going to slide one hand up, and we're going to curl those fingers over the second hand and really give it a nice squeeze. Good, and we're going to exhale. We're going to uncurl the fingers, slide the second hand up, and curl our fingers over again. Again, as we're doing this, we want to have regular breathing. Good, slide it up. Take that breath in. Slide it again. Awesome, you're doing it. So we want to repeat this, keeping a good solid connection between our hands. Sliding, squeezing, breathing is super important. Good, let's do a couple more. Use that breath. Curl over. Good. Just want everything to be rhythmical. Excellent. All right, let's shake out the hands. Now, if you have any arthritis, you might want to do some little hand circles. Open and close your hands just to get your hands warmed up. Another one is here. Look at all that heat we're generating. Yeah, that gets the hands warmed up. All righty? If your hands are really cold, put on some gloves. Yeah, we'll warm them up. All right, so number one, we have the sliding prayer. The next one I call the spider. All right? So again, we're going to have the hands together like this, but we're going to extend slightly away from our body. Alrighty? We're going to open up our fingers. You can imagine a spider walking along, but we're going to be like this. And what's important here is that we press to those fingertips. Really, really press. Now our sight line needs to be on those middle fingers pressed together. Alright? So make sure you can see. Your arms aren't down here, they're not too high, just right here. We want to see those middle fingers, and we're going to press. All right, now we're going to relax the hands, and we're going to press again. And relax the hands, and press, that's it. You could do it. Really make that connection. All right, I feel my brain is on fire. That's awesome, good job. Nice job, you guys. Let's do 3 more. Press and relax. Don't forget about breathing. Press and relax. And again, press and relax. And last time, press and relax. Good. And again, let's relax our hands, relax our wrists, open and close. All righty. Let's go to our next one. I've brought some props here. Now, you can use anything that you like. I brought some silly putty. If you have walnuts or pecans or something round, you can use that. I also brought some lip balm, and it's nice and round. So anything that's round. You could also take a piece of foil and scrunch it up and make a ball out of it. All right? So I'm gonna use my lip balm. I like the color, it's kind of fun. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place that round object in the palm of my hand, and I'm just gonna start, and I'm gonna pull my fingers together on both hands, and I'm just gonna start to circle that around in the palm of my hand. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna really press as hard as I can, just really getting a nice connection with both of the hands on the round object. All right, we can do that for about 30 seconds or a minute. Then I'm gonna take it on the other side. Sometimes it'll take a little bit of practice. We gotta keep the fingers together. We gotta roll, roll, roll. Sometimes rolling in a circle isn't as easy on one hand as it is on the other, but you'll get used to it. And if you want to go back and forth, that's another way to do it. And we're getting that great stimulation. All right? So I've given you 3 brain gymnastics that we can do physically that are going to help with our neural connections, keep our brain stimulated, keep us happy. You know, when we remember things, we feel happier. So have a glass of water, a cup of coffee, relax, use those breathing techniques, try a word association, and your brain is gonna be buzzing. Thank you so much. Love you all.